Hey guys, Texas Rebel. Just wanted to share a little bit before we get into the short story. Kellerad won my TXR 100 giveaway, and so his idea for the short story was the one I whipped up. We got a lot of good ideas. I may be doing a poll later to see what other ones you guys might want to see, but get this one wrapped up for today. And some friends make a debut, and I had a hard time figuring out how I was going to pick who I put in it. I didn't want to exclude everybody. Everybody has been so supportive and amazing, helping me in my journey. But how I decided to run this one was anybody that I've done a short story for before this one. This is going to be episode 17, I think. So everyone from previous episodes makes a cameo and a guest appearance in this one. I will include other people in future ones, but just want to let you know why people are in this one and kind of how I figured that one out and how I decided to move forward. So, anyway, hope you all enjoy. This one's a good one. See ya.
Out on the ragged edge of the Orion Spur sat the dusty space outpost of Lockshaw Landing, a place where every door had 3 deadbolts and a bad attitude. The man responsible for keeping it civilized was Sheriff TX Rebel, former air cavalry pilot, full-time space cowboy, and owner of the most magnificent beard in 3 star systems. His old cavalry Stetson sat low over his eyes as he strode down Main Street, boots clanking on alloy planks. The beard flowed heroically in the recycled breeze, occasionally setting off motion sensors. Folks said TX Rebel could fly anything with wings, rotors, or questionable paperwork. But these days he piloted something more delicate, a titanium pick set worn low on his hip. A klaxon blared. The saloon doors burst open and out stumbled the outlaw gang known as the Jammed Tumblers. Their leader, Rusty Deadbolt, kicked a practice safe into the street. "Sheriff?" Rusty barked. "We challenge you to a duel," TX Rebel sighed, stroking his beard. "You boys ever consider a nice, quiet hobby? Like knitting?" Behind him, his posse assembled in a loose line. Veterans all, handpicked and trusted. Grouchy Lenny cracked his knuckles and muttered about how locks were better back in the day. Cheese Grits and NyQuil yawned, somehow relaxed and hyper-focused at the same time. Swamp Picker flicked mud off his boots. Rabbi Picker adjusted his hat and grinned. LABS spun a tension wrench like a magician. Broke Picks inspected a tool that looked one sneeze away from retirement. Greyhound paced impatiently. Sistu calmly observed every angle while playing with a set of handcuffs. Elroy's Toys tinkered with a gadget that beeped encouragingly. Rob Picks gave a confident nod. Nola Southpaw flexed his left hand. Stealth Rogue was present in spirit and possibly invisible. Nightmare looked intimidating enough to scare a safe open. Lady Locke smiled sweetly in a way that worried criminals. And Phantasm seemed to flicker slightly, like reality hadn't fully loaded him in. They were fresh from their latest training rotation at the prestigious Green Tools NYC, where elite pickers honed their craft and occasionally argued about tension wrenches like philosophers debating destiny. Hovering referee drones descended and dropped a long row of dual locks into the street. The crowd hushed. Somewhere, a vendor quietly sold popcorn labeled tactical snacks. On the tone, boomed a drone. Beep. The street erupted in rapid metallic clicking. Grouchy Lenny opened his lock and complained it was too easy. Cheese Grits and NyQuil picked with sleepy perfection. Swamp Picker used a tool that might have been a twig. Rabbi Picker finished with a flourish. LABS executed a spin move that impressed the crowd. Broke Pick's tool snapped mid-duel, then he shrugged and finished with half a pick anyway. Greyhound finished so fast the drone had to rewind the footage. Cease-to-Do called out the binding order like a sports announcer. Elroy's Toys' gadget played a victory jingle. Rob Picks opened his with smooth precision. Nola Southpaw clicked his open left-handed without looking. Stealth Rogue's opponent's lock mysteriously opened itself. Nightmare glared his into submission. Lady Locke's popped hers open with elegant ease. Phantasm's lock opened with a ghostly whisper. At the center, TX Rebel knelt before the final dual lock. The world seemed to slow. His pilot's hands steady from years, and the cockpit guided the pick with surgical calm. Click, clack, the lock sprang open. Rusty dropped his tools. That ain't fair. Nobody's that smooth. TX Rebel stood, beard catching the sunlight like a heroic curtain. Son, he said gently, I flew aircav through meteor storms. You think a 7-pin tumbler scares me? TX Rebel looked over his posse with a proud smile. These were veterans who traded dogfights for duels, chaos for craftsmanship. Together, they kept Lockjaw Landing safe, one satisfying click at a time. He settled his hat and turned toward the horizon, where another suspiciously locked vault was being unloaded from a freighter. Well, boys, he said, stroking his beard, looks like trouble just docked. His posse grinned and rolled open their pick kits in perfect unison. And under the glowing stars of the frontier, Sheriff TX Rebel and his crew walked toward the next duel, hands steady, minds sharp, and the quiet confidence of legends who knew that in this corner of the galaxy, the streets would always be safe as long as TX Rebel and his posse were around.